starting with the game with Louisville, knew going into that game with the injuries that we had that it was going to be a game we really needed to win on special teams. I knew both teams had highly ranked aggressive defenses, and the weather forecast of the wind and the cold, regardless of who was playing quarterback, was going to be a different day. So it just felt like, the two defenses, the way they were playing, the fact that Cunningham was out and that we were down, it was going to be a game that maybe came down to the third phase. And the game was kind of playing out how I thought it would. I mean, it was 0-0, 3-3. And we give up a kickoff return on a play where the ball's bouncing around, and everybody thought we're going to end up tackling them inside the 10. And unfortunately, our guys got out of their lanes chasing the ball instead of playing with lane integrity, and they made a play. And with that being said, we're down 13-10 to start the fourth quarter. It could have been 10-6 in our favor without the KOR. Obviously, you can't take those off the board, but that was a critical play. And when you're in a position like we're in, where you're beat up on offense, we had 5 starters out, your margin for error is not much, and so defensively, we didn't give up a touchdown until the 9th drive of the game. I think they kept us in the game, and we needed to get some turnovers forced, and we didn't. But the complementary aspect of the game is intensified, when you're not able to put points on the board, and you just kind of hang in there and fight for that final possession. And we just weren't able to get it done. I thought some positives, I thought Ben Finley did some good things. There's things he didn't do well, but for a guy that was on the scout team until 2 weeks ago, I was impressed with, just the way he handled himself. He threw some good balls in there. He read the RPO game well. Going against our defense for 10 weeks probably helped him, seeing all that stuff that we do. And I think Ben will learn a lot from that game and improve. And Jack still has a role and has a place in our offense. It was a tough day, to throw the football, which is what gave Ben more reps, just because we needed his arm when we got behind 2 possessions. I thought Dylan McMahon, playing his first full game at center, did some good things. Daryl Jones really had a good football game for us on offense and special teams. Mike Allen got his first career touchdown on a nice throw and catch from Ben to him on a wheel route. And we protected the football well, on the road in cold weather with the wind, and really playing with our 4th-string quarterback when Ben got in there. Did some good things that way. Negatively, obviously, we didn't score enough. We got stopped on 2 short yardage plays. Really disappointing, on the 4th and 1. I think it was what I thought it was going to be. They had a whole bunch of guys inside, and if we get one block that we should have gotten, that's a big hit in the game. And I don't know if we win the game because of it, but we definitely get in scoring position on that play. And I'd do it again. The guys have to execute in that situation. It's disappointing that we didn't. They did a good job defensively at times, got us in some negative yardage plays, and that made it hard. Like I said earlier, the defense, to only give up 1 touchdown, we were putting them in some tough spots there in the second half, just having to go for it, being down 2 possessions. But they hung in there, really played hard. Did give up too many yards rushing at times. They got on the edge a couple times. We got out of our gap a couple times. Really the biggest disappointment, I think there were some 3rd downs where we should have got off the field, normally would, and our corners, gave up leverage 3 times on routes with blitzes that were coming home. So we got to get better there. Special teams, Chris Dunn, Joe Shimko, Caden Noonkester, can't say enough about that tandem. Those 3 guys, the way they performed, kicking into the wind. Mentioned the kickoff return being a pivotal play. I think Keon Lassane and Daryl Jones deserve a lot of credit for how they cover punts. I think there's probably the best tandem of gunners that I've had in my tenure as a head coach. We've had one guy, that was special at it, but to have 2, I can't believe their punt returner held on to that on Keon's tackle. Moving on, rivalry week, big opportunity to play there, and number 1 offense probably in almost every category in our league, averaging close to 40 points a game, and they're balanced. Phil Longo does a good job, and does a nice job tweaking their offense each year. You know, last year at this time, they'd given up 40 sacks and only 14 this year, 180 yards rushing a game, 300 yards plus passing a game. And whereas last year they were really one running back. They're rotating guys, and they've got a good running back by committee group right now. They all run hard. They're averaging over 5 yards a carry. I think May is really playing good football at quarterback, taking care of the ball. He's running well. He's their leading rusher. He's got very talented skill around him, as we know, with Josh Downs. You know, number 3, he's averaging almost 100 yards a game with 22 yards a catch. You know, on defense, they've gotten better. They struggled early for sure. And as the years gone on, they've gotten better and better and better. And they're not giving up as many points or as many explosive plays. You know, big defensive front. Their 2 linebackers make a lot of tackles for them. They run well. Their DBs are long guys. Their nickel is a physical player. I'm looking forward to competing with them. You know, I think these kind of games, records don't matter. It's a group that doesn't like each other, you know, and you know my feelings on it. And even though this season has taken a different path for us with our injuries, I can't say enough about the spirit of this team and the staff. It's a great group of people. And I think, you know, in a week of Thanksgiving, I'm truly thankful, you know, to have had the opportunity to work with these guys and the staff and the players. We're going to fight. You know, we're looking forward to getting on that field, embrace the opportunity to compete against a 9-win team. We got a great group of guys, and we will be physical in this game. We're going to compete until the clock runs out of time, and look forward to seeing our guys play and practice and celebrating Thanksgiving week with them. So